Hey guys, I'm Steven.
I'm Giselle.
And we're the Lover's Passport. Today we're going to be taking you through what we're packing for backpacking and how we pack it.
If you're new here, welcome to our channel. We do a lot of adventure blogging, photography, content creation. So we'll take you around on our hikes, backpacking trips, travels around the USA right now until we go international and more. So if you're into that kind of thing, give us a thumbs up and make sure to hit that subscribe and notifications bell. It really helps our channel out a lot. And if you are returning here, thanks for being a part of the Lover's Passport family. So with that, we'll just jump right on into this video. Just to make it streamlined and organized for you guys, we're gonna organize this by categories. And then that way we'll be able to link everything we mentioned down below in the description box. So if you're interested in checking it out for yourself, you can. Or if you want to get personalized gear recommendations, you can either text us at this number right here, or you can click on the link in our description and chat with us on this really cool app called Curated, and we'll give you personalized recommendations based on your needs and your budget and that kind of thing. So we're gonna start with the safety category. Safety is always really important, especially when you're out in the backcountry. You never know what could happen, so it's always best to be prepared. As Steven likes to say, failing to prepare is preparing to fail.
So this is the first aid kit we are using.
This is perfect for us because we tend to do weekend trips and there's two of us. We also add like extra things like moleskin or extra like ibuprofen just in case, because those things we do use more often than other things in our pack, so we do resupply those after every trip. Next up, we have our Garmin InReach Mini. Now this is a new addition to our backpack. Last year we did not have one of these. It's a little GPS like satellite beacon device. We can text off of it and also receive texts and go back and forth depending on your subscription plan. You do need a subscription plan. I believe our cheapest, or the cheapest one you can get is around $11 a month. You can either pay for the full year or you can pay like per the month you're gonna use it. And so you just have to install it, it syncs to your phone, and this is a very nice tool to have in the backcountry just for your peace of mind. If something were to go wrong, it has an emergency SOS feature on the side, and then it will alert like stars. And yeah, the texting capabilities are really nice. Steven also has a GPS receiver and the Gaia GPS app on top of that, which will go hand in hand with our Garmin. We just put it in this little bag. Until we go backpacking, it will be strapped on our backpack strap.
So next up we have these orange emergency bivy. This is great, especially when we're out there and we go for a day hike, or if we're not doing a complete overnight trip. This stays in our bag and stays in our day packs if we start doing trails off of where we set up camp. Super helpful, especially if you guys are doing peak bagging, you get stuck in a storm, you have no visibility, you need to just bunker down. This is super helpful, it'll help keep you warm, and it's super lightweight. So once again, better to be safe than sorry, and have it.
And the nice thing too is it has a whistle attachment onto it. So if you do need it for if you're stranded or help, or you need just to grab the attention of something, yeah, simple blow, and you can get the attention of someone to help you. Next up, we have a multi-tool. Now, both the emergency bivy and the multi-tool are part of what's known as the 10 essentials. We'll link some more information down below for you, but the 10 essentials are basically, you should always have these things in your day pack on top of your backpack. And so like it comes with like a plier attachment, and it has like knives and bottle openers and 14-way multi-tool. So it has everything you could possibly need in your pack.
Next up is we have the headlamp. A bunch of different versions of a headlamp. There's rechargeable ones that need batteries. These both are battery headlamps, so we usually pack 2 extra batteries for both of us, which is how many of these headlamps take. Usually we won't need to switch them more than one time on a trip unless we are doing primarily all night hiking, and that's about it. Nice and easy, and always make sure to bring extra headlamps. There's been so many times where we have forgotten those and we're using our iPhone or trying to follow someone else. So super important to bring. So next up we have duct tape. This might seem really simple and like, why would you need to bring duct tape? We've had to use it before. On one of our last backpacking trips, our tent got blown over by the wind and one of the tips broke. So super helpful to have duct tape to repair that. All you have to do is slip your water bottle in between it, or even take some duct tape off, wrap it around the water bottle, and it lasts for quite a few days.
That's what we normally do. And yeah, in that circumstance, we didn't bring enough duct tape because we weren't expecting our tent poles to break. So we actually took Band-Aids out of our medical kit and we're able to help salvage that way. So it's another little hack. I've seen other people whose tent poles break use their like trekking poles instead too. Fun fact. And last thing in the safety category that we do have is a itinerary for the car and a route description. So you'll see this is actually my packing list, but on the other side I also have a route description of exactly our trip, what we're gonna do. We also have a Sierra guidebook that we use to plan all of our trips, on top of like our research on our blogs, the ranger station, the websites that we look at. It's very, very important to look at the trail data before you set out on a trip, just for safety purposes, and it's really, really important to know what kind of elevation you're getting into, what you need for each landscape. So definitely do your research before you go out on the trails. Backpacking is not for spontaneous, unprepared person. That's how you get hurt. So make sure you do your trail data research and print it out, just in case, because like in the backcountry, you're not gonna have service. I mean, sometimes you might, but you're not gonna have service. You're gonna wanna have a paper resource. Some people use trail data on their phones, but in the event that your phone dies or your extra rechargeable battery dies, you wanna have something on paper. So we always have it on paper. And then just other safety tips that we always recommend is having your itinerary, like leave a copy in your car. So if for some reason something were to go wrong and search and rescue found your car, they would know exactly where you were planning on going for each night, where you were supposed to be camping, etc. And also leave an itinerary with one of your friends or family at home that are not with you, so they also know your whereabouts. So if you for some reason don't come home when you're supposed to, they know to notify someone. That's very, very important step to do.
So next up, it is mosquito season in Sequoia National Park where we are headed. So it is important to remember to bring bug repellent. This is just mosquito repellent. We have 2 simple ones that we alternate bringing, and we also have a bug net. Super, super tiny. This one is from sea to summit, and all it does is go directly over your hat and your head. Keeps all the bugs off your neck so you're not just sitting there swatting. We've had some pretty miserable experiences.
Oh, we've had some terrible ones, especially in the Yosemite backcountry, where you literally cannot take a step without going like this.
Yeah, it can get really, really, really bad out there on a wet season. So highly recommend investing in one of these. They're super cheap. It was like $12, and it's gonna make our lives so much easier out there.
Yes, and so with the mosquito stuff, we're moving more into the toiletries. We have these Sea to Summit wilderness wipes. So these are great. They have a small size and they have a big size. We usually bring the smaller size for backpacking, especially if we're just doing a little overnight or 2 to 3 day trip. These are super nice. They're super refreshing because you will be doing your business out in the backcountry. Some people like to bring a shovel too. We just find that's extra weight, so we dig a hole with like rocks that we find.
Or the back of your shoe.
Or the back of your shoe. Yeah, so that's what we bring in terms of that. So I have off first aid antiseptic bite and itch relief that I bring with me. And then I have a flavor-free lip balm from Clior. And it's really nice because your lips are getting really dry. Like I always have really bad chapped lips out in the backcountry. We bring a little travel sunscreen. This one's from Supergoop. But we also have some from Clior, the same flavor-free lip balm company, and I just found this like $1 travel size bottle from Target because I didn't want to bring the full size bottle because that's just extra weight, and I put some in here so that way we have face and body sunscreen with us and we'll stay protected because most of the trails are super exposed when we're out there, and sunscreen is very important.
Moving on to our tent, this is our Big Agnes Tiger Wall 2-person tent. Highly recommend checking this out. It's an ultra lightweight backpacking tent. Really nice and thin, so you don't so it's gonna save you a lot of weight. Really easy to set up. It takes about 5 minutes to set up. The only problem is it is not great for wind. So if you are looking for something that's a little bit more wind resistant, Big Agnes also makes a bigger tent. This was just the Tiger Wall, which is a much lighter version of it. So we'll go ahead and link that down below, or you can even text us on Curated like we were mentioning and ask us our other tent recommendations.
Yeah, so this tent just works for us for backpacking in California. We've also recommended a lot like some tents from MSR and Nemo. They both have really good high quality backpacking tents. So if you're looking into backpacking tents, we definitely recommend checking those brands out too. So these are our Outdoor Vital ultralight pillows. We didn't used to bring pillows with us, but it just really makes day and night difference for our night's sleep out there. And we used to just stuff clothes in a pillowcase because we didn't want to add the extra weight, but these are so light, like you can barely feel them. And they just blow up really fast, like 2 breaths, and makes the day. And then we have our sleeping pads. So we have 2 different ones. We've had these ones for years. Like I've had mine for like 3 years now. Mine is just off of Amazon. It was like $30 or $40 is a budget one. But let me tell you, it's the equivalent of like a Thermarest one that's over $100. It's never popped, it's great quality, and you do not need to spend that much money on a sleeping pad. If you can find one for $40, that works well. So I will link it down below. Definitely recommend. And then Stevens is an REI Co-op Flash insulated air pad. It's super similar to mine, just a little more expensive and a little more quality.
I think the biggest difference is how you put air into it and take air out of it. Giselle's has one air hole, so when you're blowing into it, the air goes in. When you blow the air out of it, you have to stick your finger in it
and hold it. Yeah.
On mine, there's an inflate and a deflate. So all the air goes into one hole. When I want to deflate, all I have to do is pop it open and roll it out. But for the money you're going to save on the cheaper one, I would go with the cheaper one. If you guys are an REI member, they do give out really good discounts. So I'd highly recommend checking it out on one of their big season sales.
Last but not least, we have sleeping bags. We both have the same sleeping bag, and they're just the men's and women's equivalent. This is the REI Co-op Co-Magma 15 sleeping bag, and let me tell you guys, this has been the best sleeping bag. It's a little pricey. It was a couple $100 when I bought it a couple of years ago, but it's definitely been worth the investment. And I bought it during the REI anniversary sale. If you are a member and you want this sleeping bag, definitely worth checking out.
If you guys are looking for a sleeping bag, you can always, like I said, text us. Let us know if you guys have any questions. We would love to chat sleeping bags with you. This is great for lightweight sleeping bag in the high Sierra. It's only a 15-degree bag, so it doesn't get super warm at lower temperatures, but it's great for summer hiking, fall hiking, even spring hiking. I would not recommend it in the winter though.
Yeah, something warmer for the winter.
On every trip, we do like to bring a hammock. Super nice and easy. We bring a hammock and the hammock straps. Our favorite company is Inu, just because of how lightweight they are. They're really reliable when you take them out, and we've had all their hammocks. We've had like 4 of their hammocks. Really nice and lightweight, especially when you get to the end of your trail. Just want to hang out. If you guys are doing a higher elevation, anything above 10,000 feet, don't recommend bringing a hammock because you're going to be above the trees. You're going to be above the timberline, so there's not going to be any trees around you. But if you are like hiking at a lower elevation on the PCT, or if you guys are going into Sequoia or Kings Canyon National Park like we are going this weekend, tons of trees, so we're bringing it.
Then last but not least, in terms of like the bigger gear, we have our backpacks. So these are both from Deuter. This was my first backpack I ever bought myself. It's the Deuter Air Contact Light 50 plus 10, and this is the same bag that Steven has, but the women's version. And what I love about it is it has 2 little waist pockets that are super handy. The back is adjustable. So this is my beef with a lot of other backpacks. Is I have a very long torso, but I'm very skinny, so like it's very hard to find a backpack that fits me very well. So I like that the Deuter Air Contact Light has this adjustable thing in the middle here where you can raise it up and down in order to fit you better. But what I always recommend in terms of backpacks, although these work great for us, and we definitely recommend Deuter bags, our entire friend group now uses them, is to go get yourself fitted in REI or some other sports store before you invest in a backpack, or borrow one, see how you like it, because it fits everyone differently. We know some shorter people prefer like some Ospreys over Deuters, but if you're taller, definitely recommend these boys. And they're great size for like overnighters, but also for 4 to 5 day trips. So definitely recommend the Air Contact Lights. They're our favorite bag. So
if you guys are in bear country, you're going to want to bring a bear canister. This is a big bear canister because we do carry food for the both of us. If you're a solo backpacker, or if you're not in a couple like us, they do make half the size, which is great for overnight backpacking trips. I would highly recommend bringing a bear canister, not just for the bears, but also for the rats, marmots, anything else out there that can chew straight through your tent or your pack. You can hang your food. We've seen people do that. We've seen a bunch of different things, but we like to be safe, and we do not want our food to be gone when we are out miles off the trail. So we highly recommend investing in a good bear canister. You can also rent them from REI, but we decided we're going to be using them for the rest of our lives, so might as well invest in 2.
Right, and sometimes the rentals aren't always available because they are in high demand. I do have these trekking poles from Black Diamond. I'll link them down below for you. They are the ones with cork on the holders here, and that just makes the grip so much nicer, especially if your hands get really sweaty. The grip is really nice. They don't slip. They don't give me blisters. I've never had any problems with that before, and they're so quality and they're lightweight. So if you're backpacking with these, they're a really good option. I know most female backpackers that I'm friends with also have the same model, so I will link them down below for you.
So next up is water purification. We have 3 different types of water purification that we're going to talk to you guys about. The first one that I've been using the longest is just Aquamira. They're super easy. There's a type A, type B. You put them in there, you wait up to an hour, and then you have your water. The taste is not great sometimes.
I hate the taste. I hate the taste, and it does take longer, but you're like guaranteed.
It kills everything in there. They're really small, really lightweight, and that's what I've been using for the longest. Next is we have this. This is a gray old bottle. This is fantastic. It clears out viruses and bacteria. So it has a filter down here that is magnetic, pulls all the viruses out of the water. All you do is you get your water, you pick it up. It has this filter like I was saying at the bottom. You put it on top and then you'll press down. All that does is it gets rid of all the
nasty stuff.
It gets rid of all the viruses, all the bacteria. It all gets sucked into that, and you have your fresh water on the inside. It has a super nice bottle on top. It has an area you can clip. They're a little bit heavy is the only problem if you guys are using them for long periods of time, and it's not going to fill up your entire 3-liter water sack, but super helpful. And this is probably one of the best ways to cleanse your water from both bacteria and viruses.
And it's just nice because it's in a bottle format, so it's ready to drink right away instead of having to wait like for the Aquamira. And the last thing we have here is the modal bottle. Now this is brand new. I believe they just launched this week. Really cool small business, and it's interesting because it's one collapsible, 2 it has 2 different sides where you can fill up your water on, and it has all these really cool extra attachments where you can like take off one side, pour water through, and make it like a shower. You can filter your water through this. So we're really excited to test this out this weekend. We haven't used it just yet, but it is watertight and acts like a water bottle, but it's so multifunctional and versatile, and it's lighter weight than the Grail, I believe. Yeah, it's lighter weight. So really excited to test these out. All 3 of these are great options. We've also heard of like the Life Straw and the Sawyer pumps. The last thing we have for water are these hydration reservoirs and sacks. So these are from a company called Black Wolf, and they are really nice. I used to have an old bladder that I just got off of Amazon, and it was really hard to fill up, and it got stinky pretty fast. And if you got like the iodine stuff in there, it didn't really clean out very well. So these are really nice quality. First of all, it's really nice that it has like this little back holder so you can fill it up really easily instead of having to like hold the wiggly like black or blue part that most of them do. The straw is really quality. Haven't had any blockage on any of the trips, and it slides right into our backpack. It has these little latches on the top here, so really easy. You fill it in and then you just stick them on through and then latch it, and boom, you're ready to go. Super convenient and very easy to fit in your pack.
So next up, we bring our jet boil. This is the easiest way for us. We used to use the MSR Pocket Rocket. Definitely a lighter option, much smaller and easier if you guys are solo, but since we like our water hot, we boil quite a bit of water between coffee, tea, eating your regular food. So the jet boil is our way to go, and during the winter and spring, it got water boiled so much faster.
Like 2 minutes. It's awesome.
Yeah, so really nice and easy. We bring this mid-sized fuel container. We were using the smaller one for day hikes or just little overnighters, but now that we're gonna be cooking up a little bit more food, we got the bigger one since there's 2 of us. If you're only a solo backpacker, there are smaller versions, and if you have a group or if you're going for a longer trip, there are much bigger ones.
And actually, Jetboil did just release a mini version of the Jetboil for backpacking, so we'll link both sizes down below. We haven't tried the new one, but heard it's nicer because it's lighter weight. So if you're looking for saving ounces, that's the way to go. So going along with the Jetboil, we do also have these like camp mugs. So this one in particular I got from REI. It's nice because you can boil it too if you need an extra pot. And that's just cookware. We try and keep it pretty minimal because yeah, we're gonna bring dehydrated food, which we'll go over in a second. And then some other like nice little luxury items we like to bring. We won't be bringing this whole box, but we do bring the little packets inside here. This is Kuju coffee, and this is pour over backpacking coffee. It's not just for backpacking, you can have it every day. I sometimes just make it at work. And it's really good coffee. It's not like your crappy instant stuff that you can just get in the store, you know? We've been using them for the past almost 2 years now, and their stuff is amazing. I'm really a coffee snob and I can't drink most coffee black, but I can drink this stuff black and it's amazing. My favorite flavor is the Basecamp blend, but we will be bringing the Bold Awakening with us. This is also a good flavor. And then last but not least, we also do have Bandit wines, and this is fun because it's like boxed wine that you can bring in the backcountry. It is a little heavy if you are, you know, worried about weight, but there are some items that, you know, you're willing to slack for. And some good wine in the backcountry. Never hurt anyone 21 plus. Finally, going along in the food category, this trip we will bring all dehydrated meals. We are currently working with Backpackers Pantry, and so we're going to be shooting a lot of content for them. So we'll be bringing the peanut butter banana oatmeal for breakfast, the Hatch green chili mac and cheese for lunch, and then the mushroom stroganoff for dinner, among other meals. We like to bring extra meals just in case we're feeling extra hungry or something were to happen, or if we were to be out there an extra day due to an injury or something. It's always better to bring extra food than not. And another pro tip, since we're not bringing our like usual snacks with us, since we are bringing all of our dehydrated food, which is kind of nice, if you are like getting oatmeal packets or making your own food or getting like snacks and granola bars, a pro tip is to unpack everything from their packaging to save some weight. So what we'll do is if we get like our normal Quaker Oats oatmeal or something like that, we will unpackage everything and just put it in one plastic bag so you don't have all this extra waste. And it will save you a lot on ounces if you are concerned about that. And then finally, just to wrap everything up, we do have the final extras that aren't like physical things that we have on us now because we'll need them tomorrow before we go out. First things first is our permit. We haven't got our permit yet. We secured it online, but for Sequoia Kings Canyon, you do actually have to pick it up at the ranger station. Definitely been changing a lot in terms of regulations and things in the past year or two with, you know, the vid, as we say. So like some places would email you the permit, some places you have to pick it up. So just be on the lookout. Whichever national forest or national park you're entering into, they all have different regulations in terms of picking up your permit. And then we have our wallet, our car key. We take everything else off of our car key ring so that way we don't carry extra weight. And then we bring our camera gear and our camera batteries. We have a whole video on that, and we'll link it right up here for you if you want to know what we bring. This trip, in summary, we'll be bringing our Canon R5, our 24-70 lens, and like probably our mic and some batteries and SD cards, but not too much since we don't want to add too much weight. And then our portable charger and cords because we have to charge said camera. So that's about it in terms of those extras. Now we're not going to go over clothing in this video either because we do already have some resources on that, and we will be making, Steven already did a full dedicated video on his favorite hiking and backpacking apparel, which I'll also link up here. I still have to do mine, but I do have a full blog on both of our favorite outdoor backpacking apparels, which we will link down below in the description for you as well. So like I said, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed, and we will see you on the next adventure.